I'm 84 years old, and no, I don't say that to impress you. I say it because time has a way of stripping things down to the truth. At this age, you don't have the energy to pretend anymore. You don't have the patience to carry things that don't belong to you. And you definitely don't have the luxury of wasting what little peace you've managed to find. My name is Margaret, and if I could sit across from you right now, not as a stranger, but as someone who has lived long enough to see the full circle of life, I would tell you this quietly. Most of the weight you are carrying right now was never yours to begin with, but nobody tells you that early enough, so you learn the hard way, like I did. When I was younger, I thought being needed meant being loved. That was the first lie. A beautiful lie, the kind that feels warm when you believe it, but heavy when you live it. I was the one everyone called. If something broke, I fixed it. If someone cried, I stayed. If there was confusion, I stepped in. If there was silence, I filled it. I didn't even question it. It felt like purpose. It felt like strength. It felt like this is what a good woman does. And people rewarded me for it. Oh, Margaret, you're such a blessing. I don't know what we'd do without you. You're the only one who understands. And I believed them, not because they were lying, but because I didn't know how to separate love from usefulness. Let me tell you something you may not want to hear. Being useful and being loved are not the same thing. Sometimes people love what you do, not who you are. And if you're not careful, you'll spend your whole life performing for affection instead of resting in it. I remember one particular year. I think I was around 39. Life was full. Not in a good way, just full. Work was demanding. My children were still young. My husband was going through his own struggles and didn't know how to talk about them. So I carried that too. Of course I did. That's what I was trained to do. Carry, hold, fix, absorb, and smile while doing it. There was a day I came home late. I had just spent hours helping someone else solve a problem that wasn't even urgent. I walked into my house and everything felt loud. The children needed attention. Dinner wasn't ready. My husband was distant. The house felt like it was asking something from me the moment I stepped in. And I remember standing there, just for a second, holding my bag and feeling something crack inside me. Not loudly, just quietly, like glass under pressure. I went to the kitchen, started cooking, answered questions, nodded, smiled, responded, did everything I was supposed to do. But inside, I was empty, completely empty. That was the beginning. Not the change, but the awareness. The small voice that whispers before your life starts shifting. Years passed, and I kept going, because stopping didn't feel like an option. Stopping felt like failure. Stopping felt like letting people down. Stopping felt like losing myself. Funny, isn't it? Because the truth was, I had already lost myself. I just didn't notice yet. The real turning point came much later, much, much later. I was in my 60s by then. My children had grown. The house was quieter. Life had slowed, just enough for me to hear my own thoughts again. And that's when it hit me. I didn't know who I was when nobody needed me. That realization, was terrifying. Because if your identity is built on being needed, then what happens when the need disappears? Who are you when there's nothing to fix? That's when I started noticing something else, resentment. Small at first, subtle, but it was there. It showed up in little ways. A sigh when my phone rang. A pause before saying yes. A tightness in my chest when someone asked for just a small favor. I didn't like it because I saw myself as a good person. And good people don't feel like that, right? Wrong. Good people feel that way when they've been giving past their limit for too long. One evening, I was sick, really sick, fever, weak, the kind of sick where your body is asking, no, begging for rest. And my phone rang again, another request, something small, something quick, something that only you can help with. And out of habit, I said yes. Of course I did. I got dressed slowly, my body heavy, my head aching. And as I stepped outside, something inside me spoke, clear, sharp, unignorable. This is not kindness, this is neglect. I stopped, right there, hand on the door, and for the first time in my life, I said no. Do you know what happened? Nothing. The world didn't collapse. The person figured it out. Life moved on. But something inside me shifted. Something important. Something freeing. That was the day I stopped trying to please everyone. Not overnight, not perfectly, but intentionally, one choice at a time. I learned how to say no without explaining my entire life story. I can't today. I'm not available for that. I need to rest. Simple, respectful, complete. And let me tell you something. The people who truly loved me understood. They didn't always like it, but they respected it. And the ones who got angry, the ones who pushed, the ones who tried to make me feel guilty, they taught me something I wish I had learned earlier. Some people don't love you. They love access to you. That lesson changed everything. But I wasn't done learning, not even close, because there was another habit, one that looked strong on the outside, but was quietly draining me from the inside. I needed to be right, not in a loud way, not aggressively, but subtly, quietly. I would explain, correct, clarify, defend, debate, and convince myself it was necessary, that I was standing up for truth, that I was being fair, that I was being strong. Until one night, everything became clear. I had an argument with someone I loved, and it started over something so small. I can't even remember what it was now, but I remember how it felt. My voice sharper than usual, my thoughts racing, my body tense. I wanted to be understood. I wanted to be right. And I pushed and pushed and pushed until I got it. I won. And when the conversation ended, the silence that followed felt heavy. Not peaceful, heavy. I sat there in a quiet room with a loud heart, and I realized I had won the argument, but I had lost something far more important. Connection, peace, softness. That night, I asked myself a question that changed the way I live. What did I actually gain? And the answer was simple. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. From that moment, I started choosing peace over being right. Not every time. I'm still human, but more often. Enough to change my life. Now, when a conversation starts to rise, when I feel that familiar tension building, I pause, just for a moment, and I ask myself, is this worth my peace? And most times, the answer is no, so I let it go. Not because I'm weak, but because I'm wise enough now to understand. Not every battle deserves your energy. Not every opinion deserves your response. And not every misunderstanding needs to be corrected. Because peace is expensive, and I've already paid enough. But the hardest lesson, the one that still makes my chest tighten when I think about it, was this. I spent too much of my life waiting for the right time, waiting for things to calm down, waiting for everything to align, waiting to finally breathe. I'll rest when this is over. I'll enjoy life when things get easier. I'll do that later, until one day, later stopped coming for someone I loved. And that's when it hit me, deep, heavy, unavoidable. Life doesn't wait for you to be ready. It moves, with or without you. And if you keep postponing joy, you might miss your own life while preparing for it. So I stopped waiting, in small ways at first, quiet ways. I wore my favorite clothes on ordinary days. I used the good plates with no guests. I called people just to hear their voice. I sat outside longer, even when I had things to do. I allowed myself to enjoy moments without earning them first. And slowly, something returned. Something I hadn't felt in years. Lightness. Not a perfect life, not an easy life, but a lighter one, a more livable one. So if you're listening to me right now, and something inside you feels tired, not physically, but deeply, quietly, consistently tired, I want you to hear me. You are not broken. You are not failing. You are not behind. You are carrying too much, and some of it was never yours to carry. So maybe today you put something down. Maybe you don't answer that call. Maybe you don't engage in that argument. Maybe you do something small, just for yourself. Not tomorrow, not when things get easier. Today, because one day you will look back and realize the life you were waiting for was already happening. And I don't want you to learn that as late as I did. If this reached you, then maybe it was meant to. And maybe this is your moment, not to change everything, but to start, one choice at a time. If you want more stories like this, the kind that speak to the parts of you nobody sees, then stay here. You're not alone.